Hey, it's Chris Schneider with RE/MAX Trinity at MyWayHome.Biz, and I'm here with my mortgage lending buddy, Tim Cranston with Inlanta Mortgage. And Tim, one of the biggest questions that comes up when I'm dealing with buyers looking to buy a house is how the down payment works, all right? You know, where the percentage comes from, how much the down payment is, and where all those facts and figures comes from. So what is the answer to that? How much of a down payment do people need to plan for when they're buying a house?
Well, there are several answers to that, Chris, and it depends on each individual's situation, depends on where the property is that they're buying, depends on credit scores and income and those sorts of things. But there are programs with no down payment, programs with 3 and 3.5 and 5% down payments, and then programs with larger down payments.
So the answer is there's really no one answer.
There's no one answer, and we try to take everyone's personal situation and tailor something best for them.
Okay, so you mentioned 3%, 5%, 10%, 20%. There's a lot of different percentages.
Yes.
And just to give you an idea, the right around the average price, sales price of a home in DFW these days is about $200,000 in that general range.
That's about right. So
3% of $200,000 would be $6,000.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's kind of the money that we're talking about. It can go 5%, 10%, 20%. So who determines, Tim, what percentage the down payment needs to be?
Well, there are several factors. First of all, it depends, of course, on what you're able to put down and how much of your funds you want to use for purchasing the home, but then also the program guidelines. And again, the property types and where they're located will all have a factor to play in what you're eligible for in terms of down payment.
And when you say program guidelines, it's like there's the FHA loan, they have their guidelines, the conventional VA loans, things like that.
Yes, several different types of programs, both by the government and private programs, as well as programs designed for different types of properties in different geographic locations.
Okay, interesting. So there's a lot that goes into
There
it.
is.
So really the best way, since there's no one single solid answer, the best way to get the information on this is to check with a lender and talk with a lender about it, right?
That's right. We would sit down with you and understand exactly what your circumstance is, what you're comfortable with, where you're wanting to buy a home, and then help tailor a program that meets your needs based on all of those different variables and what works out best for you.
And you know, your realtor should be able to help you out a little bit on that too. Now the realtor can't give you the exact numbers that usually the lenders can, but we can usually give you a good estimate of what the range is going to be. So you know, talk to your realtor about that too. Now, so we've been talking about down payments, right? Mm-hmm. Is that the only closing cost number, or are there other closing costs involved?
Yeah, actually, Chris, it's quite a bit more. Closing costs include things like appraisal costs, credit report, title company fees, attorney fees, and so on, as well as setting up an escrow for taxes and insurance, paying your first year homeowner's insurance policy. Those items are called prepaid expenses. Mm-hmm. And so you can expect closing costs to be in the neighborhood of about another $2,400 for closing costs, and then for insurance and tax escrows, prepaid expenses, probably another 1.5% to 2.5% of the price of the property that you're buying.
Okay, so that's on top of the down payment.
On top of the down payment.
Okay, so and again, the best way to get these solid numbers, you know, talk to your realtor, because realtor can usually give you a pretty good estimate, but then the lender should be able to give you some really good hard numbers that you can go with it. It will give you a really good idea of what your closing costs are going to be.
That's right, Chris, and I can just add, and then we also have some solutions. If that represents too high a cost for some people, we have some ways to help address that too.
That's always good. That's really good. So if you have questions, is it okay if people call you, contact you if they have questions?
Oh, sure. Be happy to just discuss that, no obligation. And you can reach me anytime during or after hours or weekends at 972-743-8999. You can text me there as well. Or you can email me at timcranston, Cranston, at Inlanta, INLANTA.com.
He's Tim. I'm Chris Schneider with RE/MAX Trinity, and you can find me at MyWayHome.Biz. And feel free to check out our other videos as we try to be a blessing. We try to answer some questions to help you out, and you don't have to work with us if you don't want to, but we do want to try to help you out. And you can find those videos on my YouTube channel at MyWayHome.Biz.